got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem. He can't win. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, dude.
Yes.
Greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
Now, I normally mind my business, but this is a lot to take in. I don't know, let's break it down. It's like, I don't even know where to start. Ever since I was a kid, I been a huge fan of Will Smith, right? He's been like, he was always like so cool to me, you know, like Bad Boys, iRobot, Fresh Prince, you know, super cool guy. Loved all his movies, right? All jokes aside, I'm gonna just get straight to it. All jokes aside, what he did, I don't think it was okay. I mean, all jokes aside. It's just like, you can't just walk up to another man and just slap him like that. Like, I don't condone violence, like on any level, right? I think that, especially as adults, we should be able to talk about our problems and talk about our feelings and effectively communicate on a level that, you know, accurately delivers the message and the true feelings that we're experiencing in the moment. So sometimes it can be hard for me to communicate because, like, I can have trouble with that sometimes. But that's another point. I think as adults, we should be able to communicate with our words. You know, Chris Rock is a person. He's a person too. Everybody's like picking sides and stuff. But how do you think he feels, you know? It's like, he's a comedian, right? He's a comedian. He made a joke. Comedians cross lines all the time, right? He made a joke and, okay, it may have crossed some lines, right? But there's a right way to handle things and there's a wrong way to handle things. Because one reason I don't condone violence, and people can be so hypocritical because they'll say like there's not a problem with what Will Smith did and this and that. But like people will say there's not a problem with what he did. But say if Chris Rock in this example, if he were to retaliate somehow at like a later date and then like cause great harm, you know, to anybody on the other side, let's take it away from Chris Rock and Will Smith. If you got two people and somebody does something to another person, right? And then later that person does something back to that person, it just keeps going back and forth, right? Up until the point to where like, eventually like, okay, you might slap somebody, they slap you back, and you punch them, and they punch you back, and then you guys fight, and then somebody wins. You fight again, another person wins. If you keep fighting, what if you keep fighting and the same person keeps winning? Eventually the other person might get mad, and now they come back, and then now they gotta catch a body or something, because they just in their feelings like that. Okay, these things happen all the time, right? And then at the end of the day, it all comes down to, well, you know, people should just keep their hands to themselves and people shouldn't be hitting each other. Like, it happens all the time. It's really like a cycle, right? And in the beginning, you're like, oh, it's okay, you shouldn't have made the joke or whatever. But then if it gets taken to these extreme levels, it all comes down to, well, people shouldn't be being violent in the first place. So you gotta keep that in mind. You kind of gotta, you know, keep these endings and keep the levels that things can get taken to in mind. Because that's embarrassing for Chris Rock. I also personally feel like it's embarrassing for Will Smith. That was completely out of character for him. It's not something that's not him, I feel like. Like, he might have had a moment where he's been going through a lot and he felt like that was the right thing to do. Like, I've been there before too. But I don't think it was. I think he could have handled it a bunch of different ways. I think Chris Rock handled it very well on live TV in front of the whole nation, in front of millions, kind of just, I don't know, he handled it really well. I don't know how I would have handled it, but you know, in Will Smith's defense, there can be a lot of emotions going on too when, in Will Smith's defense, there can be a lot of things going on too where you're on national TV and something that's happened before is bothering you and you feel like you have to do something about it. So I don't know. I'm not a celebrity like them. I'm not in their shoes, but it's a lot to unpack. And I feel like even if you zoom out a little bit on a bigger level, I don't think that was a good way to represent us as black people. Like, once again, on national TV, you know, there's always a stigma that, you know, we're violent thugs and this and that. And I know the world's changing and it's not the same as it once was, but still, it's like, it's like handle your stuff not on national TV like that. Like, I don't know. There's different ways to go about it, but that's just how I feel about it. I feel like I wanted to just kind of express this side of myself. I know it's funny. I know I do a lot of workout stuff too, but I don't condone like violence on any level, because it has no point. It serves no purpose. I like to live my life and move on the other side, you know, with love and you know, not violence. It doesn't really serve a purpose. It doesn't get anything done, and I mean, it's better ways to go about things. So that's my take. Let me know what you guys think.